Today, we're going to get into a really powerful idea, one that could totally change how you look at your life's biggest challenges. We're talking about becoming what's called a circuit breaker, the person who heals the past to free up the future. So let's just start with this thought right here. Ever wonder why certain struggles feel ancient? Like you're fighting battles that aren't even yours? You are. Just let that sink in for a second. It kind of opens up this wild possibility that maybe some of the heaviest things we carry didn't even start with us. And right away, that just leads to some huge questions, doesn't it? I mean, if these battles aren't 100% yours, then whose are they? And probably the bigger question is, why are you the one fighting them so hard? That's exactly what we're going to dig into. Okay, first, let's just talk about that very specific feeling. The feeling that what you're going through is, well, ancient. I want you to think about a challenge in your own life. Has it ever felt, I don't know, bigger than it should be? Just impossibly heavy, maybe super complex, or even weirdly, specifically familiar to your family's whole story? If you're nodding along right now, you are not making it up. There's a really deep reason for that.
And that reason is that these feelings aren't just random noise. The idea here is that they are echoes from your lineage, bouncing down through time.
And this, right here, is where the whole game changes. We're invited to make this huge shift, to stop looking at a problem as just my personal struggle, which feels super isolating, and start seeing it as my lineage's healing. I mean, that one little tweak in perspective turns a heavy burden into a powerful purpose. And this visual just lays it out perfectly. Just imagine a pattern. It could be a fear, a way of thinking, an unhealthy habit, getting passed down generation after generation. It goes from a great-grandparent to a grandparent to your parent, and then, boom, it gets to you. The whole idea is that you're not just dealing with your own stuff. You are the exact point in your family's history where that chain can finally be broken. You're here to complete the unfinished business. Which brings us to this really incredible, empowering new identity. You are the circuit breaker. Seriously, just sit with that for a second. You're the circuit breaker. In this whole story, you are the one who steps in and stops the flow. So what does that actually mean? Well, a circuit breaker is the person in a family who looks at a negative pattern and consciously decides to end it. They're the one who says, you know what, this stops with me. And when you do that, it's not just about liberating your kids or grandkids. The idea is that you actually send that healing backward in time, too, liberating those who came before and after. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds huge, right? Like some kind of epic cosmic mission. But the path to this kind of liberation, it's not out there somewhere. It's deeply personal. It's all about the work you do on yourself. And this isn't just theory. It's about real, everyday actions. Every time you choose not to pass down an addiction, every heavy family silence you finally decide to break, every toxic cycle of behavior you refuse to repeat, that's not just working on yourself. That is liberation work. So, okay, where do you even begin? It actually boils down to a pretty simple 3-step plan. First, you shift your perspective. You go from asking, why is this happening to me, to what am I healing for us? Second, you decide. You fully own the fact that your personal work is actually collective work. And third, you act. You just pick one pattern and you start the work of breaking it. And if we zoom out even more, this whole thing gets even bigger. It goes from being a family mission to something that you could call your soul's assignment. Now, this is a really profound thought. Your soul chose this specific family, this exact timeline, these precise challenges, not as punishment, but as assignment. Wow. So what this suggests is that everything you've been through, it's not a punishment. It's not a curse. It's a curriculum. You are perfectly placed right here, right now, to do this very specific work. Okay, let's make this real for you right now. Take a quiet moment and really ask yourself this. What is one pattern that you see repeating in your family that you are just absolutely determined is going to end with you? And hey, remember, this isn't all about stopping the negative stuff. It's also about carrying the good stuff forward. So what gift, what strength, what incredible resilience runs through your family line that you are here to turn up the volume on? Now, think about the progress that's already been made. just in a few generations. With the awareness you have today, the words you have, what are you healing that your grandmother, or maybe even her mother, couldn't even name? And finally, let's look to the future with this last thought. By doing all this work, by stepping up and being the circuit breaker for your lineage, what freedom are you creating for descendants that you will never even meet? Your personal work today becomes their liberation tomorrow. And maybe that's the whole assignment.